Okay, so let's talk about this one quick second. I want to be very straightforward with this. The Flash came out last week. I saw the film, and I kind of rated in that rant in that review. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the script in the comment section below. I'll be quite honest with you, and this is just me talking about seeing the film after a week. Is it a bad film? No. It is not the worst thing on the planet. It's the worst superhero film we got? No. But when you have these execs, these suits and ties, these idiots, these goons, these Neanderthals, these jamokes, these so-called people saying it's the best superhero film of all time, that's where they fucked up at. It's not the greatest superhero film of all time. It's a good film, yes, but it's not a great superhero film of all time. Is it one of the best DCEU films? Yes, it will be on some people's top 10. Would it be on mine? If you talk about DCEU, yes. If you talk about DC's film in general, doesn't even come close to the top 10. Matter of fact, let me scratch that. It comes close, but barely scratches the 10th spot. If you talk about DC in general. But if you talk about DCEU films, yeah. Is it better than the Suicide Squad film? The Suicide Squad. That's debatable. I think it is. But I also think it's not. The problem with this film, and this is a problem with a lot of things that Marvel does, which I will talk about the Secret Invasion bullshit in another video, is they take these titles, or they take a element of a storyline, and they put it in these films and make it their own thing and try to feel superior. This film, call it what it is, was supposed to reboot not James Gunn, but I'm going to get to James Gunn in a minute. This video is going to be ranting why this film failed on many levels. But we'll get to James Gunn and David Zaslav towards the end. The purpose of this film was to reboot the DCEU during the era of Walter Inaba and the era of Aaron Snardoff. This was going to reboot everything. Now, you're probably seeing yourself when Johnson. What are we going to do? They were going to get rid of Henry Cavill's Superman. I was about to say Batman. Henry Cavill's Superman, and also get rid of Ben Affleck's Batman. That Batgirl was supposed to usher in a new era with her as the new lead. Then you had Supergirl will usher a new era with her as the lead. Warner Brothers and the execs thought, let's get rid of these melanated superheroes and put in some female superheroes. Not knowing, and this is the biggest problem with Warner Brothers. They see what Disney and all these other studios were doing, and they wanted to copy that. Don't do what they do. Do what you do. If they want to get rid of the male superheroes, let them do that. You keep doing what you do because the fans will get sick of that and they'll come to that. That's the problem with Walter Inaba and Aaron Snardoff. They got this blueprint and it failed. It was going to fail miserably anyway. If you know, we're in a shift of Hollywood where superhero movies are not the end anymore. People are kind of getting fatigued with them, and people are looking at other stuff. Top Gun Maverick was not supposed to make $1 billion, but it did. You know why? It's different and it's old school. Something different. The superhero genre thing, it is, the boom period is over. We will no longer get like 5 or 6 superhero films again. You're lucky to see maybe 2 or 3. If you talk about the studio in general. Marvel will still duke out superhero films because they got the backing of Disney and they still got money. However, they're not looking pretty either, which I will talk about in the Secret Invasion review. This is mostly about DC. The problem with this is they try to do something knowing that the fans kept telling them don't do it, and they kept going with it anyway. Number 1. Number 2 is the Ezra Miller debacle. Ezra Miller was all over the place last year. The problem with this film is, look, if you got to release this film because you put over $200 something, that's fine. But make sure you tell the fans that, yeah, we're getting rid of Ezra Miller because we're rebooting the whole universe. That never came out of nobody's mouth. Not James Gunn, and this is with James Gunn. Now I'm going to James Gunn and David Zaslav. None of them said that. They were like, we're still sticking with this film. Not knowing, motherfucker got a bad reputation outside. Get rid of him. He got to go. It's too much. We got to get rid of him. And you have a character where you could do that. You know, the shit that's going on with Kang and, the shit was going on with Black Panther's a Namor actor. That's going to be hard for them to do because they can recast him, but it's going to be a backlash. For Kang and the Flash, these characters, more so Flash, You can always kill him off because there's another Barry Allen's multiverse. Kang, there's another variant. So you have these characters that have these. I hate to say it, but there's these explanations of why they look different, where some characters don't, and you can do that. They were like, "No, we're still cooping them. No, we don't see nobody else playing." Why are you doing that? Like, you know something that the media doesn't know? Then you need to come out and say, "No, I think it's all overblown. Look, we still stick by the stuff that came out." You're still defending him when you didn't defend Johnny Depp. You're still defending him where Amber Heard is still in the casting of Aquaman, and you didn't bring back Johnny Depp. That's what I'm saying. They're doing their double standards. And with the Johnny Depp thing, I would have got rid of Amber Heard. I said, no, she's not doing the press, and Aquaman is her last film with the studio. No one came out and said that. They're like, they don't want to shame her. Like, stop. If they did wrong, they did wrong. Tell them that they're done. That's it. You don't have to shame them, but you tell them they did wrong. You're quick to get rid of Johnny Depp for accusations that came out false. Okay? And Warner Brothers owe him an apology, which I think they did behind closed doors. They're not going to do it out in public because they got too much ego. Now, Zaslav probably will do it because he has no problem throwing Aaron Snarnoff and Walter Naba at the time under the bus because that came before him. But everybody else, not really. But that's the problem. That's another thing. And the biggest thing, let's go to James Gunn. And this is James Gunn's fault. He comes out this year, starting out, these are the new DC studio films that will start the new universe. And James Gunn has a problem. He wants to keep certain people, certain actors that he deemed to say they're good or this. You can't do that. If you're going to reboot it, reboot the whole motherfucking thing. Because we're at the point now. You cannot keep doing this. The problem with DC they've been having for the last several years is start, pull, stop, pull, start, pull, stop, pull. They keep starting something, they don't want to stop it. They keep starting, they reactionary. When the film doesn't do well, they want to pivot and do something else. Stop. This film is bombing. They're already going to start a new universe anyway. What I would do is reboot everybody. Get rid of Aquaman, get rid of Flash, get rid of Wonder Woman, get rid of all of them because at this point, the universe is dead. Don't keep nobody. I like Gal Gadot as Aquaman. I enjoyed the first film. I think it's one of the best DCU films that's came out that were and one of the best DC films since Batman. I will say that. The first Wonder Woman film. Problem is, the Batman, the Dark Knight series, excuse me. Not the Batman, but Dark Knight. The problem is that these people constantly lie. They have no vision. They have no plan. You got James Gunn doing the Authorities as a passion project. Then he's like, yeah, I'm adding the Authorities to Superman. First off, motherfucker, let's get Superman right, and then you can add whatever the motherfucker you want to do later on. You have earned that. The problem what people are having with the studio is that they're constantly doing different things. People are telling them, no, don't do that. You make a good Superman film because people kept saying, and this is the difference between a hardcore Snyder fan and just a regular fan of his work. I'm a regular fan of his work, and I feel that I get a bad rep because like one person said, "Oh, you like Zack Snyder? You like the Dark Superman?" I'm like, no, I like his interpretation, but I'm not gonna sit here and shit on this man. The man had a vision, and the studio meddled with that. When I saw the Justice League film, I got angry. Angry when that film came out theater. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is nothing remotely to Justice League. It was just all over the place. When I saw Zack Snyder Justice League, I said, you had a vision. These people fucked it up. And you sit there, you're like, this actually is enjoyable. I had fun with it. And for a 4-hour film, it went by pretty quickly. Now, I think it was 2-parters that he would have put to be continued. I would have liked actually see what was going to happen. The problem with DC, they need a good reception. Do you know when that film came out, the Justice League film, was the best reception film in a while. In a while. And it made the studios, Ann Snardoff, Kevin Jahara, all those people previous from her, and even her to a certain degree, look like fools. Walter Hanaba look like fools because they're trying to do something that the fans kept telling you. What's going on? So actually people saw like, yo, you did have a vision. What is going on in the studio? Studio meddling, coming in there because they were listening to the reaction of what the fans were saying. But then you look at Batman v Superman. I don't like the Ultimate Edition, but it's a better film. But they were upset with the reception of Batman v Superman, which they created. They didn't learn from their mistakes. They were upset with the reception of Justice League, which they created. You can't do that. If this man had a vision, let the vision flourish, let it end, see how much money you make. And it was just, honestly, it is what it is. It is what it is. But James Gunn is another one. And spoiler alert if you haven't seen the ending. And I'm going everywhere with this, but forgive me. The ending of Flash is a scene that James Gunn put in the courtroom scene. When, Barry comes out of the courtroom, his dad is now not convicted of the murder of his mom, which that's a whole explanation for another day. Which I'll talk about maybe in this video. I don't know. He adds a scene of Batman. You're thinking, oh, okay, so because I heard rumors that he's actually doing a scene where he's going to bring in the new Batman. Which I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good way to move you forward. Even though I would have had them kill off Flash and then create this alternate Crisis of Infinite Earth and bring all these characters together and then kind of end the Snyderverse and start the new universe of Gunn and kind of put it all together like a big event. But who knows? Again, this is me, businessman, because I see money. It's whatever. But no, he brings in George Clooney, and this is supposedly as a joke. Like, you have no time for jokes, bro. You have no time to do that. Bring in the new Batman, get your foot forward, try to build this universe, because now, jokes aside, you look like a fool. That box office reception for The Flash is terrible. People said it was going to do bad, but this is the worst. And this film costs buku money. This film costs way too much money for the money you're about to bring back in. It's a failure. Last week, the talking point was how The Flash and Elemental did bad. This week's talking point is how The Flash couldn't even beat Elemental, and how Jennifer Lawrence's comedy film has overtaken The Flash. It's bad. This studio needs to get their shit together. David Zaslav, I blame David Zaslav, I blame James Gunn, I blame all of them trying to promote this film as one of the best You can't do that. In today's technology, in today's world, don't lie. Say it's a good film. Say it's one of the best DCU films we have done. One of the best DCU films you'll ever see. But you're not lying. Because it's not really, it actually could be one of the best. But when you lie and you say one of the best superhero films, no. You got The Dark Knight, you got Logan. You have to be specific, but you also have not to lie at the same time. These execs keep lying, and this is an old mentality that it doesn't work today. It doesn't work in today's society when we have all this technology and all this other stuff, because the more you keep lying to these fans, the more they won't trust you. And that's been the problem with DC for the last several years. Lies after lies after lies. Manipulation, backstabbing, behind the scenes turmoil. It's ridiculous. Ben Affleck's like, yeah, I would love to come back and do another Batman. Hell yeah, after seeing him in The Flash, you're like, this just missed the potential. Do I think, and I'll talk about Warner Brothers in another video because I really want to stress about them, but it's going to be a shorter video. But these are my reasons why I think the Flash film bombed. It's just it's a mess. It's a monstrosity of a mess that James Gunn, no, not even James Gunn, it's a monstrosity of the mess, because this film has went through 3 leaderships, with the Kevin Johara leadership, with the Aaron Snardoff leadership, which really got developed. And you blame a lot more on Aaron Snardoff and Walter Hernaba, because they were pushing this agenda trying to get rid of all the men's. Eventually, that changed when the Hollywood pivot. When Hollywood started getting a taste of their own reality, like, okay, maybe we need to pivot. Something happened, and they pivot from that of not doing, like, making it all about women. Because it's still, don't get me wrong, this film is still like putting Supergirl in there, but by that time it was already done. But certain scenes were changed. Certain things were done to pivot away from that direction. Is it still kind of woke? No. But I bet you money, if Hollywood and the society was pivoting from that direction, it would have been woke. Because you could tell certain things were done, reshot and stuff like that. I'm not even talking about the goddamn third act. That third act was done last two months. And you can look at the CGI. You can tell it was done last 2 months. But I'm talking about how the film kind of direction it went. But I mean, honestly, I feel bad for Michael Keaton. I feel bad for even Supergirl. I thought she did a great job, and I feel bad for everybody else who were in that film. But with the combination of Ezra Miller's debacle, the different leaderships, then James Gunn and his fucking foolish acts, David's ass of what he's doing, it's ridiculous. But yeah. So that's all I have to say on the film. Do I think the film deserves the critical, not critical, but the critical, the critical box office failure that it's getting? Yes or no? The yes part, I mean, they knew what they were about to get into. Even with Ezra Miller's thing, they could have handled this perfectly and been honest. And then when people kept asking them, are you going to keep Ezra? They were like, yeah, we're keeping him. Why? When Johnny Depp was all clean, but you ain't add him into none of the new films. But they're not going to do another Fantastic Beasts because that last one bombed. But they were like, yeah, we want to work with Johnny Depp again because we were wrong for what happened. They should come out and say that. No one has came out and said that. And that's the thing with Hollywood. Proven, like for the Jonathan Majors thing, I hate to say it, he's gone for Kane. And the fucked up part is when it all comes out that he's not guilty, and the way he's looking, he's not fucking guilty, his reputation has to rebuild his reputation yet again. He'll have to start from the ground up. He'll probably have to start doing a lot of black movies. Like you'll see him doing a lot of independent movies again, and you'll see him doing a lot of, he might work with Tyler Perry and some of his stuff because those are the people that I see will give him a chance. Because the Hollywood today don't want to give nobody a chance when they're proven wrong. Ever since the Harvey Weinstein shit that came out, they don't want to give nobody a chance. But Harvey Weinstein, that was true. Other people, it's not true. Because there's always a hit piece on somebody. Why are you trying to hit somebody? Ezra Miller was a hit piece. He came out, he did what he did. He even went to court and admitted what he did. So there's evidence of that and there's footage of that. And you still stick by him because he doesn't know what he is? Because one minute he wants to be a dude, next minute he wants to be somebody else. I don't give a fuck what he wants to be. The law is a law and a crime was broken. That's it. Grooming kids and all. It is what it is. But if you do all that, you should be taken out. And that's why the film is like being not doing well at the box office because nobody's going to support that. And a studio who supports that should be broken. I don't care how much money you put in there. You have morals, you have values. Warner Brothers just proved that morals and values. This doesn't look good for David Zaslav either because now people don't want to work with him because of this. Not only because of him canceling everything else, but this is another thing. I blame the financial failures on Warner Brothers' Discovery incompetence to not feel the room, not see the trees before the forest, if that makes any sense, but not seeing the storm that they were about to get into. James Gunn couldn't be that stupid. He probably saw like, yeah, we would need to recast them. I would have put an end scene to kill him off and create a Crisis of Infinite Earth to set up the new universe. This whole Superman legacy bleeds that's later. No. I would have started Infinite Crisis of New Earth, where I would have got Ben Affleck's Batman, Henry Cavill Superman, all these characters together, and tell them just like this, hey, look, I'm going to do this Crisis of Infinite Earth type of event, but I need you guys to understand I'm going to do my own universe. Hopefully, I can use you guys down the road. Work with these characters. Work with everybody. And create this Crisis of Infinite Earth. And I would have James Gunn directed. That would be my first film. And then oversee other films that can come out. But he's not playing it like that. He wants to go set it. You can't go to that. You have to establish and explain certain things that is created in this universe. Because I would have moved this film to December and moved Aquaman Lost Kingdom, I like to say Lost Cause, to fucking June and let that roll. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lost cause. That's not a lost kingdom. That is a lost cause. Aquaman is. And Blue Beetle, I would have kept them around too. I would add Blue Beetle to this Crisis of Infinite Earth. They're trying to get money. If you notice, they're trying to make money off these films, and they're not doing it because they're in confidence. And I will make another video. Let's talk about DC needs to be sold to Paramount or Universal. But I will talk about that in another video. But these are the reasons why Flash failed. Comment below, let me know. This video is a little bit long. I went a little bit tangent this time because I had a lot to say. So you got a full episode of Johnson today. Sorry about this video being late. It's been a hectic week. I've been busy. But yeah. As always, guys, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. I'll see you guys in the next video.